All right, folks, welcome to the WFCU Center, the host venue of tonight's NBL Canada clash between the Windsor Express and the Halifax Hurricanes. I am your host, Brett Hedges, alongside my co-host tonight, Mitch Kay. And we have the distinct honor of calling this game tonight, the 6th NBL Canada campaign for the Windsor Express. Kobe, it's obviously been a long, fun environment going back to our first days as broadcasters. It's a lot of fun coming back here for 6th opening day in NBL Canada.
Yeah, of course it is another fantastic season on the way. #all1. We got some new teams in the league, a lot of excitement, a lot of player movement, but we continue to bring in some of the best talent around the world to make this a great league that it is. Tonight we will showcase some of that. The Halifax Hurricanes look to pick up a win on the road against the Windsor Express, who kicked things off at home here tonight at the WFCU Center.
Well, the Windsor Express kicked off the regular season last week in a win over the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans. 5 players reached double digits in that game, led by Shaquille Keith, 25 points. It was a lot of fun seeing him go to work early in the year for the Express.
Yeah, he really has picked things up, and I think he takes off this year. Devin White was electric, 23 points, 12 boards, 2 big blocks, Brett, but 4-4 from downtown. He was 89% from the field. He and Logan Stutz are going to be a handful down low. Stutz had 14 and 6, 5 of 10 from the field. The Express were a +8 on the glass. They had 22 team assists, 16 of those dimes coming from Maurice Jones. So
we lost a dear friend in the offseason. This past year we lost a
and we talked about Maurice Jones in the pregame comments that he is absolutely a stud. 16 assists in the game the other night. Had 18 points. Really, the sky's the limit for Maurice Jones in this NBL Canada squad. He could really be the guy that the Express lean on this year.
Well, absolutely. He came in last year as a rookie.
Sorry, folks, I apologize. We're just going to have a moment of silence for DJ Thor.
Thank you.
Pardon me for that, folks. DJ Thor was a humongous part of this NBL Canada community and a part of this team. He was a long-time DJ for the Windsor Express and unfortunately lost his battle with cancer. He battled for 8 long years, was the heart of the Windsor Express through and through. Very sad to see him go, but he would be happy to see us all here in the celebration of basketball here at the WFCU Center.
Absolutely, and a battle it was, Brett. That man was a warrior and will be remembered not only here at the WFCU Center, but around the city of Windsor. So those were great sentiments that you shared. Going back to Maurice Jones, this is the year for him. He's going to be electric. We know that. Came in last year with a lot on his shoulder, especially with the Express being shallow in the backcourt to start the year. There were nights where he didn't sit for it, literally not even a second. And then when they shored up those positions, he still played a bulk of the time and put up great points. I think he's an underrated defender, and I think he leads this team again this year.
Absolutely, and last year it was kind of a dress rehearsal for Logan Stutz and the Windsor Express. He only played 13 games, but he did get a playoff run under him. What do you think that he can accomplish in a full regular season under the Windsor Express and under head coach Bill Jones?
Well, I think once he's acclimated to Coach Bill Jones' system, I think it's going to be, all signs are going to be on go. He's a guy that can stretch the floor, shoot the 3, he can play down on the block, he can pass out of the post. Like I said, he and Devin White are going to be great up front for the Express.
And of course the Halifax Hurricanes in town tonight. They will be starting with Tyrone Watson, Ramel Brown, Cliff Clinkscales, and Antoine Mason, along with Billy White. The Windsor Express will start Braylon Rayson, number 3, Logan Stutz, number 5, Devin White, number 11, Maurice Jones, and number 23, Shaquille Keith. Here the game is underway and the Halifax Hurricanes have the first possession. Watson, a familiar face in the NBL Canada, drives, dishes, collecting himself down low for a bucket. And that's Ramel Brown catching in down low.
That's what we get when we play the Halifax Hurricanes. It's great work down on the block.
Logan Stutz quick to go to work. He can't find the bottom of the basket after that shot. Halifax quickly in the front court. Cutting to the high post is now it's Tyrone Watson on the bounce, off glass, hits every part to the rim, can't go, but it's an offensive rebound for Halifax.
always solid on the glass are the Hurricanes as they get to reset at the top of the key.
Ramel Brown with that rebound. And here's Klingscales, the lefty. Lefty three is no good. Shaquille Keith cleans that board and brings it up the floor. Maurice Jones, who set a record last year with 320 assists, goes to the glass, can't finish in tight. Challenging for the rebound was Stutz, but taking it away up the floor is Billy White. Klingscales swings it into the corner. Interior pass down low to Ramel Brown, matching up with Logan Stutz. Puts a shoulder down into him. Klingscales quickly passes it out. Three ball is off the mark by Antoine Mason.
Yeah, Taquan Zimmerman in game one for the Hurricanes, hitting a whole bunch of triples. Watch out for that man if he heats up from beyond the arc.
Maurice Jones off the bounce, loses it. Good hands from the Halifax Hurricanes, but they'll say it goes off the Hurricanes. It'll be Express ball down low. Maurice Jones showing that electric, quick first step. Got himself into the open space there, but a good defensive play from Halifax saves the possession.
Yeah, Maurice Jones definitely a guy that can get himself to the free throw line, another place where he excels, so look for him to get to the charity stripe whenever possible.
Maurice Jones over to Shaquille Keith in the corner. He lines up for three. He can't get it to fall. Devin White challenged on it, but it was Halifax that brings it up the floor. Quick ball rotation out. Tyrone Watson goes down low to Billy White. Billy White spins, establishes himself down low, kicks it back out. Good defense from the Express on the bounce. Mason makes a tough shot in the middle of the key.
That's generally what we get out of the Hurricanes is tough play inside, especially in the painted area.
And this man was the electric in the first game for the Windsor Express. Devin White, 23 points, 12 boards, 2 blocks. Rising up for a three is racing. He can't knock it down. And a nice athletic play there from Billy White not to crash into the front row. A young child nearly got trampled there if not for the athletic abilities of Billy White there. Express ball in the front court, fresh shot clock. Maurice Jones with the handle. Logan Stutz fires from three, just off the mark. Antoine Mason with the board, he brings it up the floor. That pass is too high for the hands of Ramel Brown. It's a turnover, Windsor ball.
It'll be interesting to see Maurice Jones work either through the pick and roll or with screens with Stutz and White and their ability to stretch the floor and get out on the three-point line or one in the paint. They're going to be a nightmare to deal with.
Yeah, it should be a lot of weapons for Maurice Jones this year. Raylan Rayson kicks it out to Stutz. He sweeps through, driving to his left, partially blocked. Kept alive by Shaq Keith. Here's a three from Devin White. Triple is good.
Devin White moving out on the three-point line. They're going to have to check that man if he's on the perimeter because he is now, if I'm not mistaken, 5 or 5 on the year from downtown.
Back in the offensive set for Halifax. Here comes Mason, challenged by Stutz. Swings it over to Brown. Down low to Tyrone Watson. Battling Shaquille Keith in the low post. He misses down low.
All rotation by the Hurricanes, but better defense by the Express.
Jones, pull-up jumper, just short. Ramel Brown with another rebound. Quickly up the floor comes Klingscales for Halifax. Alley-oop pass, but a whistle before the dunk. We're going to have a foul away from the play. That one's going to go against Braylon Rayson, a hold during the fast break. Klingscales will take the ball out of bounds for Halifax, who have 19 to shoot.
Klingscales is a savvy veteran of this league, great playmaker and facilitator.
Brown kicks it out. Mason will drive to his left, turns around, cutting Brown. Can't knock down the shot. Falls to the floor. Numbers for the Express. Shaquille Keith for three. Off the mark. Nice rebound from Billy White. Quickly gets it out to Cliff Klingscales. On the run, there's Klingscales alley-oop. Unable to convert down low is Ramel Brown. He's tied up behind the play, behind the basket. Braylon Rayson's got an open bucket. Off glass, no good. Challenged. And that's going to be Halifax ball. A missed opportunity for the Windsor Express there.
I like the aggressiveness, Brett, though, from both sides, pushing in transition, really getting it after it. The ball not falling there for either side, but I like the aggression from both squads.
Can't agree with you more there. It's 4-3 for the Halifax Hurricanes. 7:37 left in the first quarter at the WFCU Center. Home opener for the Windsor Express, opening up the 2017-2018 regular season. A whole lot of new faces for the Windsor Express. 8 new players. Maurice Jones, Eric Parker, Logan Stutz, and Shaq Keith, the only holdovers from last year's team. And it seems that the chemistry's been pretty good to start the year.
Well, yeah, the starters scored double digits, game 1, but 11 of 12 players scored. That's important. There's some cohesiveness and gelling going on with this squad early, and that speaks volumes as to what this team's how they're going to mesh down the stretch.
Clink Scales with the basketball now, going with an interior pass that's knocked away from Shaquille Keith. Here he comes on the run. Shaq Keith off glass, can't get it to fall. Billy White with the board. Quick pass up to Clink Scales, he walks it up. Logan Stutz going to be charged with a foul. Checking into the game now, the fouled party for Halifax. I believe that's Taquan Zimmerman, number 20.
We talked about him earlier. He went 7 of 10 in Halifax's first game from the three-point line.
Mason on the run, knocks down the elbow jumper, 6-3 Halifax.
Halifax starting to find their groove offensively. Mason 30 points, 5 boards, 5 assists in the first game. Don't let that man get going.
Devin White for 3, no good on his second 3-ball attempt, his first miss of the year. Watson in transition takes the bump from Shaq Keith, goes off glass for 2.
We've seen that how many times here at the WFCU Center, Brett? Watson banging down low, finishing with the kiss off the glass.
Shaq Keith waiting for a cutter, open in the Express offense. Jones creating space down low, puts up a floater, goes short, gets his own offensive rebound. Off glass, good for 2. Maurice Jones won't be denied. Quick pass up the floor, Braylon Rayson breaks it up, but Tyrone Watson gets it back for Halifax.
Forcing Halifax to slow things down and reset the half court.
A nice elbow drop. C.J. Washington with the elbow jumper connects. Makes it 10-5 for Halifax. Logan Stutz down low looking to respond, and he does.
That's good work there from Logan Stutz down on the block. He gave Washington a little too much room to shoot, so he comes back and gets a bucket of his own.
Quick ball rotation over to Billy White. Fakes the pass, drives reverse off glass for 2.
Up and under, Billy White finishing on the left side. Block to block. Fantastic play down low.
A wide open start to the game for both squads. 12-7 Halifax leads. Here's Braylon Rayson. Rises for 3, cashes in. The Central Michigan product cashes for 3.
He had 15 points in game 1, 4 boards, I think 4 assists. Did a little bit of everything, and he's fit right into this Windsor scheme, both offensively and defensively, for Coach Bill Jones.
Mason goes to his left, rises, fades, catches it off the front rim. Here's Jones on the run, pushed it up to Rayson, 2 for 2. Yes!
Money ball. And that's what Maurice Jones can do for you, Brett, when he pushes the basketball out in transition, finds the open shooter, and Windsor makes it count.
Clink Scales finds a cutting Antoine Mason. Quick pass over to Watson. Goes down low to C.J. Washington. Goes off glass, reverse for 2.
Great ball rotation by the Halifax Hurricanes with the extra pass. They had 26 team assists in game 1, picking up where they left off in terms of ball facilitation.
14-13 in favor of Halifax. Jones for 3, yes!
Maurice Jones answers back. Number 11, the point guard, leading for the Windsor Express.
16-14, Windsor takes the lead. 4 minutes to go here in the first Q. Mason, quick shot, took some contact as he rose up, no good, no call. Jones quickly up the floor, no, picked off by Mason. Mason fast up to Watson, off glass, good for 2.
2 big points off turnovers there for the Halifax Hurricanes, turning defense into offense.
16 up here with 3:33 to go in the first quarter here from Windsor at the WFCU Center. Thanks for tuning in. Brett Hedges and Kobe K on the call. Logan Stutz with the drive. He's good for 2.
Strong take by the big man, number 3, finishing at the rim.
Mason over to Washington. He quick fires and he launches and connects for three. CJ Washington, 7 points now for the big man coming off the bench.
Yeah, he's definitely hot. Logan Stutz, he's the defender, going to have to lock him down.
Halifax has 3 bodies set to come in. Stutz going to battle Washington in the low post. Fakes the shot, drives, puts his shoulder into him, and goes off glass for 2.
And Logan Stutz did it again. Came back down the other side after CJ Washington scored and got a bucket of his own. Great battle going down right now with the 2 big men.
Billy White facing up against Devin White. Loses it momentarily. There's going to be a foul on the floor. 2:31 to go in the first quarter.
Great entertaining start, Brett, to this game. Windsor, 10 total team rebounds to Halifax's 5. That's a great start. If you're Coach Bill Jones, you got to be thrilled about the work Windsor's doing on the glass. They also got 3 points off turnovers.
Absolutely. The Windsor Express lead 20-19 over the Halifax Hurricanes early in the first quarter at the WFCU. We'll be right back with more Express basketball after this short break. Let me see. Is everything all right with the mics? Were they saying that they could hear everything okay?
Yeah, they're saying one of them was kind of distorted, but I think I fixed it.
Okay, it should be all right now?
Yeah, it should be all right.
Should be fine now.
I can't hear that stuff going on.
Yeah.
I can't broadcast like that. So, we good with the lavalier, Brett?
Yeah. Do you mind if we just turn his off?
Yeah.
Yeah? What channel? We're good. We're good. She fixed it. All right, folks. Welcome back to the WFCU Center. Coming out of the timeout, the Windsor Express with a slim lead over the Halifax Hurricanes, 20-19, 2:31 to go in the first Q. Some wide-open basketball we've seen in front of a big crowd at the WFCU so far, Kobe.
Yeah, it's definitely been a good start, and that is shown on the scoreboard. The Express up 20-19.
Some fresh faces on the floor for Halifax. A block from Devin White on the newly checked in members for Halifax. And we saw 2 highlight reel blocks from Devin White in their game against Kitchener-Waterloo. There he goes, showing off the defensive ability once again. Very long defender, Devin White.
Yeah, he can definitely do it all on both ends. But with this Halifax team, they bring depth, Brett. They got a lot of guys that come off the bench and can score, as we see there.
Beautiful shot right there. Maurice Jones for the Windsor Express. Finds Shaq Keith down low in the mid-post. Backing down his defender, goes off glass for 2. Shaq Keith going to work.
Beautiful spin move for number 23, Shaquille Keith. He gets on the board. When he heats up, he can be a lights-out guy.
Zimmerman dishes over for the 3 ball at the top of the key. That's no good. Here come the Windsor Express. It was Ronaldo Dixon with the miss. Jones gets bumped on the perimeter. Will draw a foul. With 1:29 to go here in the first quarter. We'll have a sideline entry. Shaquille Keith, the trigger man. Down low to Shaq Keith once again. Rises. Too strong. Rebounded by Zimmerman. That's picked off by Shaq Keith. Going the other way for 2 points.
Keith showing off that defensive prowess, picking off the Halifax pass and finishing at the rack.
Zimmerman looking to respond for Halifax. Windsor up 24-21. 1 minute to go here in the first quarter. Dixon down low. Off glass and good for 2.
If you like post moves, Brett, these players tonight are showing off how to get it done on the block. I'm loving the back of the basket play from both sides down low.
Shaq Keith outside the three-point line, defended by Zimmerman. Rises for 3. Too strong once again. Quick fire is off the mark. Devin White with the rebound.
Windsor's got time to set up here, Brett, for one good shot and run the clock out.
Maurice Jones will probably set up a 4 low. Jones to his right, rising from the top of the key, off glass. The second shot, no good, and Halifax's last-second heave goes off front rim. The Windsor Express with a 24-23 lead over the Halifax Hurricanes after 1 quarter of play. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with more Express basketball when we return here to the WFCU Center. Welcome back, folks. Second quarter action coming up for the Windsor Express and the Halifax Hurricanes. Exciting first quarter of play. Here's an opening shot from Maurice Jones. He can't connect. Eric Parker tried to chase down the rebound, but he cannot secure it. It's going to go Halifax's way.
A strong opening frame for the Express, Brett. Braylon Reese and lighten it up from downtown. 2 of 3 from that space, but Logan Stutz 3 of 5. He chipped in 6 points for the Express, and Maurice Jones with 5, who went 2 of 4 from the field.
Taquan Zimmerman with the offensive rebound on the Ronaldo Dixon miss. He's going down low on the low post. A little up and under, trying to get it out to his teammate. Puts up a shot on the baseline, cans it for 2. The opening basket of the second quarter goes by way of Halifax.
We got some great efficiency out of both sides, Brett, thus far in this game. Halifax 8 of 15 from the field for 53%. And the Express going 10 of 20 for 50% from the field.
Getting himself to the free throw line.
Back in the game for the Express, number 2,
Braylon Rayson checking into the game for the Windsor Express. Coming out of Central Michigan. Scored 15 points in the regular season opener.
Chipped in 4 boards with 4 assists and really did it all, Brett. Looking comfortable with this squad early.
A miss from Halifax will send the ball the other way. Mike Lucier. Braylon Rayson chases down the loose ball. Braylon Rayson at the three-point line.
Good defensive switching there for the Halifax Hurricanes, who stuck with the Express players like glue.
Reefer no good from three-ball land. Braylon Rayson cleans up the board. Windsor setting up their offense. Dialing up from three-ball lane is good.
The Express now 6 of 16 from downtown. The Halifax yet to make a three-pointer.
Achapong with the three ball for Windsor. Gives them a 28-25 lead. And a nice mix of inside-out play from the Windsor Express. When they need a basket, they're going down low. They've been looking towards Logan Stutz, and they've been able to knock down some outside shots as well early on.
Yeah, I would have to agree. When you have a Devin White or a Logan Stutz, those type of players that can play on the block, or a Shaquille Keith that can attack the rack and finish at the rim, most of the players can. But like you said, Brett, they can stretch the floor, go beyond the arc, and make it count every time.
Halifax whipping that ball around on offense with a shot in the middle of the key. Mike Poole connects in the middle of the key for 2, and a big basket for Halifax.
Beautiful little floater in the paint from Poole, who gets Halifax a much-needed 2 points.
Braylon Rayson. Over to Lucier. He's at the three-point line. Going down low. Nice job by C.J. Washington. Some sloppy passing leads to an open look. Poole's going to drive, kick it out. Reefer no good. Rebounded by Eric Parker.
Nice board there by the big man, Eric Parker.
Achapong from mid-range knocks it down in transition. 5 quick points from the Canadian. There's a block. Down low by the Express. McQuaid with that block. Achapong the other way. 7 straight points for Mike Achapong.
Yeah,
and the Express with a 32-27 lead.
And that will prompt a timeout for the Halifax Hurricanes, and a good time to do so as the Express really heating up here during their home opener.
It's exactly what Coach Bill Jones was looking for, a big point to start the game. We'll be right back with more Express action after this break. Express lead the Halifax Hurricanes at Windsor. Coming back out of the timeout, the Windsor Express hold a 5-point lead over the Halifax Hurricanes, 32-27. Kobe, it's been a fast start for the Windsor Express, but staying right with them has been the Halifax Hurricanes all the way.
Yeah, we know this Halifax Hurricanes team is tough. They're gritty. They've been here before. They're deep. They can score in the paint. They can shoot the ball well. It's just a real solid squad. It's going to be a battle here tonight for the Windsor Express, that's for sure.
Taquan Zimmerman handling the offense for Halifax. He had 30 points in their home opener, or season opener. Mike Poole can't connect from distance. Eric Parker with the rebound, outletting. It's nice to see Eric Parker getting some minutes early in the game. He's been around from since the beginning, pretty sure from the beginning of the first year. And there's Logan Stutz working down low off the glass for 2.
Yeah, beautiful move down there on the block from number 3, Logan Stutz, showcasing some of that MVP-like talent.
And a quick move to the basket and off the glass for 2 goes off for a reefer.
Yeah, Halifax is notorious for coming back down the other end of the floor and scooping up 2 points in the paint whenever they need it.
Achapong dumps it over to Logan Stutz. In the mid-post, he backs down the defender, puts up a little hook, and it's good for 2.
Beautiful little hook shot in the key from Logan Stutz, who's playing like a perennial MVP here at the WFCU Center.
Dixon for 3 to respond, and he connects.
And that was an important bucket for the Hurricanes, Big Brett, because it was their first triple.
And it stops the bleeding as well. Windsor was up by 7. That bucket cuts it to 4. Shaq Keith up the wing. Looking for a screen from Eric Parker, gets it. Behind the back pass is in between 2 defenders, and Poole will go off glass for 2 on the fast break.
And 2 points off turnover for Halifax. And they'll take them, and they can get them like that. They are traditionally a very strong defensive team in this league.
Absolutely. Mike Leslie having his team playing at a high clip. The franchise has been to 3 straight NBL Canada finals.
And I think in this league, Brett, if you can hold your team below 100 points, you have a really, really good chance to win.
Logan Stutz draws a foul in the low post area. 3 Halifax Hurricanes are set to come in on substitutions. Antoine Mason, Ramel Brown, and Clifford Klingscales checking back into the game. Logan Stutz on the inbound. Michael Achapong can't knock it down from 3. It would have been 10 points for him in this quarter. Off glass, off the bounce, Antoine Mason draws the foul. Doesn't connect with rim, but he does take the bump and will go to the free throw line for a pair. Just like that, after a 7-point deficit, the Halifax Hurricanes have got themselves within a point. And they whip that ball up the floor really quickly, right off the inbounds, or right off the outlet. And they're attacking it right off the bat.
Yeah, they're typically a strong free throw shooting team, although in game 1 of the season, Brett, they went 21 of 32 for 66%, and they still scored 120 plus points. But they want to shoot the ball at a bit better of a percentage here as they make the second. It's important to make your free throws in this league. Every point counts.
Absolutely. We always talk about free throws and turnovers being a deciding factor in a lot of NBL Canada games. Devin White has the ball stripped from him as he was rising up for 3. Achapong tracks down the loose ball, rises from the free throw line. His shot is off the mark. And Devin White's going to pick up a foul at the half-court line. Maybe hoping just to slow up Mason, not necessarily foul him. And now Maurice Jones will check in for Michael Achapong with 7 points in that stretch of minutes. Good to see the Canadian contributing.
Yeah, he came off the bench hot, cooled down a little bit, but I love the aggressiveness and the confidence he has to score the basketball.
Washington will turn it over, and then he will subsequently foul Devin White. And that was all Maurice Jones on that play, just getting C.J. Washington to turn the ball over there. Such a very underrated defensive player, Maurice Jones.
Yeah, I talked about this in great length last year, but I thought he was maybe the best defensive player in the league. And he's a great rebounder out of the backcourt as well.
Shaq Keith lines up a triple. Off the front rim, no good. Antoine Mason with the rebound and a foul behind the ball. Going to go against Maurice Jones. Clifford Klingscales and Jones have a laugh. As Logan Stutz will check back in. This one's going in for Eric Parker, the veteran getting some minutes early for the Windsor Express.
Two quick rebounds for Eric Parker helped the Windsor Express. They're a +4 on the glass right now over Halifax. Brett, this is a team that typically rebounds the basketball, one of the better rebounding teams in the league. So this is good for Bill Jones and the Windsor Express.
Absolutely, adds a lot of depth to the front court. Antoine Mason going off the bounds, takes some contact when knocks down the bucket. Antoine Mason showing off that his offensive skills coming off a 30-point game last week.
Yeah, he can score the basketball at will. He's got 6 points tonight with 7 boards.
Devin White with a nice spin move in the low post goes sweet.
White gets the defender to bite. Like you said, Brett, little spin move, finish. Pretty stuff there from the big man, number 5.
Klingscale surveying the area for his offense. Mason faces up on Rayson. Finds Watson, puts up a floater off front rim, challenges, rebound goes to Washington. Klingscales gets a high screen from Watson. Thought about taking the three-point shot, but drives instead, goes down low among the trees. Watson can't connect down low. They're going to say the last player to touch it was the Halifax Hurricane, and his foot was out of bounds, so it's Windsor Express basketball.
And credit the Windsor Express defense there, Brett. 3 white and red jerseys in the painted area, making life difficult for Halifax, who has an uncanny ability to find high percentage with 2-point shots whenever possible. But there, Windsor locking it down on the defensive end, creating a turnover.
Jones gets a high screen from Logan Stutz. Pauses for a moment, then gets it over to Rayson. Mason's all over him. He rises up and shoots for 3. His third triple is good. Braylon Rayson.
And with supreme confidence, the defender's hand in his face, Braylon Rayson rises up and cans the triple.
Klingscales over to White. He cannot connect. Off the mark, here comes Shaq Keith. Looking to go off the bounce, now he'll pull up. Swings it over to Stutz. Rayson for 3, launches once again off glass, off the front rim, pardon me. Offensive rebound to
What a
White.
pass.
A quick pass to Stutz. He can't score, but he gets the offensive rebound.
Boy.
Gets it back, puts his defender in the spin cycle for 2.
That's a big boy move by number 3, Logan Stutz. Down on the block, making things happen.
43-38 in favor of the Express.
Yeah.
3 minutes and 30 seconds to go here. Devin White cleans up the rebound on the Halifax miss. A foul away from the ball as Mason bumped Braylon Rayson off of his track to the basket. That's going to be a foul. Possession for Windsor down low. It seems that the Express have been playing with a high rate of energy to start this game.
Definitely, and it's helped them to a 5-point lead, 43-38 with 3:22 left in the second Q.
Devin White gonna go one-on-one, rises from the top of the key, and he connects for 2.
And a whole plethora of moves in the toolbox of Devin White, including the long J or the triple.
Former teammates of Logan Stutz when they played in Germany. As a nice find from Tyrone Watson to Mason, but he can't connect down low. Taking it off the rim was Devin White. Yeah. Jones to answer. Finds Stutz for the open 3. No, it's over to White. Triple is good.
Maurice Jones to Logan Stutz to Devin White. And the Express train is a rolling, Brett.
48-38, the Express lead over the Halifax Hurricanes. The Express train is rolling in the first half of their home opener. We'll be right back with more Express basketball here from the WFCU Center. We'll be right back, folks. to boot. With only 2:27 left in the first half, they can really make a push here to make it get it into single digits quite easily here.
Yeah, and I think they need to do that to stop some of the momentum from this Express offense, which is playing at a high clip right now. With White, Stutz, and Jones on the floor, all kinds of magic can be created. Maurice Jones has some real weapons at his disposal.
Mason goes 1 for 3 from the free throw line on the Braylon Rayson foul. Maurice Jones in the front court. Over to Devin White, facing up on Tyrone Watson. Those long limbs, puts up the left-handed shot, can't get it to fall. Mason on the other end. Watson going up, takes the contact, lost himself on that drive, and Clinkscales will pick up the foul. Solid defense by the Windsor Express there as Watson just seemed a little bit too out of control there as he was going to the basket.
I thought Watson did a good job, though, at the play at the other end there with Devin White down on the block. But like you said, it was a little bit out of control there on the drive. But Maurice Jones forced to be fouled to slow things down here.
Devin White checks out. Logan Stutz in the triple threat position. Finds a guard, Maurice Jones. Maurice Jones rising for three. Yes, he gets it to go.
Halifax doing a great job defending the pick and roll, but Maurice Jones cans it from the three-point line.
And then here's a turnover to a trailing Braylon Rayson for two.
Express basketball, folks. Turning defense into offense.
It's a 14-point lead with just over a minute to go here in the second quarter. Clifford Clinkscales with a tough drive, can't connect. The three ball from Poole is no good. A rebound once again by Billy White. Clifford Clinkscales over to Poole, puts a jab step, puts it on the floor. Good closeout by the Windsor Express defense, limiting the shots for Halifax. Wide open look from White, he can't connect. Logan Stutz tracks down the loose ball.
Great job defense there by the Express, and they lose it.
A bummer from the Windsor Express. Shaq Keith with a spin move there. Thought he might have got held. It turns into 2 points for Halifax with 49 seconds to go here in the half. A big play to help Halifax kind of cut the deficit a little bit more.
Yeah, it looked like the Express were going to get out there in transition again, with Billy White able to come up with the dunk. No defender in sight, but like you said, Brett, important points there for the Halifax Hurricanes. They want to stop the bleeding a little bit. Just a minute ago, we talked about it being at 10, and they're looking to make a push to go into the locker room with maybe a single-digit deficit here against Windsor. It's going to be tough to do.
Absolutely, the Windsor Express now have the opportunity to drop a play and trying to get themselves a good look heading into the half. Perhaps getting into the hands of Braylon Rayson, someone that's been really hot from the three-point line in the first half. He's already knocked down 3 triples in his home opener debut for the Windsor Express.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. 3 of 6 from downtown, Brett, 11 points. And then the play of Logan Stutz as well. 6 of 8 from the field for 12 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Devin White, 4 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 from downtown, 5 boards, 10 points. And my man, number 11, Maurice Jones, 8 points, 4 assists. Really the motor for this team. I love everything about his game, and I think he's poised for a big 17-18 campaign.
Couldn't agree with you more. The reigning Rookie of the Year in the NBL Canada, 320 assists in 40 regular season games. That's a new record. Played in every single regular season game for the Express. And now they're going to say that he stepped out of bounds. Good defense from Billy White to cause the turnover on the press.
Look at the poise and control of the Halifax Hurricane. No panic in this team. No. So crafty to play down low. 47 ticks left on the clock, and they got the basketball.
An opportunity. There's a steal from Achapong. And he's going to slow it up.
Huge defensive play there for Windsor.
Maurice Jones in the new Express threads. Gets a screen from Logan Stutz. Goes to his left. Off glass for 2. Too easy.
When he puts it into 5th gear, he's tough to stop at the rim.
reestablishes the 14-point lead for Windsor. 55-41 to go, 15 seconds to go in the half. Clifford Clinkscales looking for a screen. He's at the free throw line. They're going to have a foul away from the ball. That's going to go against Jones, I believe. It's going to go against Jones. It's going to be his second, team fifth of the quarter. 10 seconds to go here in the frame, and going to be a timeout called by Coach Jones of the Windsor Express. An opportunity for the Express to settle themselves down a little bit, get themselves on the same page defensively, and trying to close out this quarter without some more points scored against.
Right, the largest lead is they could possibly with the play that they've shown on the court here throughout these first two quarters. Shooting 20 of 34 from the field, Brett. Almost 59% from the field. They got 7 triples. But really what I like is that they're a +4 on the glass, 14 rebounds to the Hurricanes 10. I mean, last year I don't think Windsor would out-rebounded to Halifax.
Absolutely.
Different squads. They got a lot more size. And I think I like where this team is going. It's a new year, lots of new faces, but one constant that remains is Coach Bill Jones. We talk a lot about the returning players, but that man right there, settling the troops, is the glue that holds this team together. It's his system along with the other coaches that really have this team possessing a competitive player year in and year out in the NBLC.
Absolutely. Bill Jones in his 6th NBL Canada campaign. 8 new faces on the roster. The last 2 years, lost in the Central Division Finals to the London Lightning. Wasn't good enough, so they had to reshuffle the deck and go with a little bit new identity in the league and try and get themselves a 3rd NBL Canada championship after consecutive titles in 2014-2015. The 3 ball from Halifax is off the mark to end the first half, and Windsor will take a 14-point lead into the break. A good shooting half for the Windsor Express. Lots of different players figuring into the offense, and to boot it all, to round it all out, some great energy on the defensive side of the ball spells a recipe of success for the Windsor Express in the first half.
Yeah, lastly, I love the 13 points off turnovers that Windsor had to Halifax's too, and that was championship level defense turning into championship level offense, and that will always work.
At the half is 55-41, 14-point cushion for the Windsor Express against the defending Atlantic Division champions, Halifax Hurricanes. Welcome to the halftime show here courtside. This is Aaron Sanders. Glad to be back with you for another season of Windsor Express basketball. Let's break down what we're seeing from the first half. It has been pretty helter-skelter, but once again, when these two teams have played only one game this season, you gotta expect them to get their bearings straight and cross those bridges. And so far, the Windsor Express have been taking advantage of those great situations. Now, I mentioned a few minutes early before we went on, I told of somebody that this would all rely on the backcourt, but I'm seeing a lot of business being applied up in the front court. But the backcourt, however, is another situation. I am impressed at the way things are going right now as we see superfan Shannon Watt pass by. Always great to see him. But I'll tell you the story. These fans are into this new Windsor Express squad. They are as loud as my jacket, as you can plainly see. But I am impressed at the backcourt once again. A lot of people putting in work, and Maurice Jones has that high IQ to lead them to victory. The Halifax Hurricanes on the other end, they are really delivering damage on the Windsor Express defense, especially on the transition game. They're doing real well for themselves, and they are lying at a good position. So just because they're down 14 points, it doesn't mean all is lost. The Halifax Hurricanes know one thing, and that one thing is to use their depth, use their ability to run up to one end of the court to another and attack any penetrating defense to get them to where they are right now. So for the Windsor Express, on the other hand, it might be plain simple or it might be plain hard for them, but once again, they have beat the Halifax Hurricanes on this very court on the last regular season game here last season. So a lot of things could happen within the next 24 minutes of this ball game, so we're going to see how that entails. But right now, that's the story for you. 14-point cushion for the Windsor Express. We go to the out-of-town scores. The Island Storm playing against the Moncton Magic. Moncton led by as much as 33, but the fourth quarter started, and we're halfway there through that one. They are up by 27. So the Moncton Magic, they might pick up their first victory of the season, but once again, stranger things have happened. And one thing to note, incidentally, about the Moncton Magic, there are 3 players that are sitting in double figures and double digits and a double-double as well. So it's an interesting game to see. These guys, they have built themselves from the ground up during the offseason, so it's great to see them make it a very interesting game as it is. And then for the Island Storm, they had a repackaging of themselves too. New coach, new players along the way. A couple of players that stayed there like Brad states, but once again, it's like 2 new teams going at it, and they are performing like superstars right there. So that's what's going on over there on the east end. Now, the second half tips for both the Hurricanes and the Express. For the Hurricanes, you really got to pick it up intensively, and you got to play that post defense, because right now you got Logan Stutz boxing you out, and there are some occasions where you box them out. So keep them from going inside and find ways to penetrate their defense. For the Windsor Express, they got to pick up on the transition, D, because there are so many times where they fell asleep at the wheel and the Hurricanes stole the ball, went in for the easy deuce. So those are the 2 key facts right there if you're both clubs. So once again, 55-41 at halftime. We'll have the second half coverage for you. Brett and Kobe will be on the call, and I will see you guys at the post-game show. But right now, Windsor Express are leading, and we'll see you on the other side for the second half. You're watching Windsor Express basketball right here on Windsor Express TV. We good? I just wanted to let you know. No, thank you. No, thank you. Keep me posted. We got the YouTube stream working. It worked since the tip-off, Grover. Yeah, that's what everybody's been telling me, and I'll alert the folks. Hey, we've been getting comments that Brett's mic is pretty low, so if we can get that fixed before the second half, I think that'll help us a lot, because everybody's hearing Kobe's mic, but for Brett's mic, it's either faint or there's no audio at all. Okay, just make sure you test it out before the second half starts, because we're getting bombarded by those audio comments, and I know. But you guys are still doing great. I'm checking the live stream, and it looks good. Alex is just out. It was just half-time.
Welcome back to the second half of the Windsor Express. Taking on the Halifax. The 41. Again, the second half, a big basket for the Halifax Hurricanes coming out of the break.
It cuts the lead to 11, and it also gets them another triple. That's somewhere the three-point line where the Windsor Express found a great deal of success.
Brown for pushing Logan Stutz in the low post. Devin White was looking inside for Stutz. The former teammates in Germany. Devin White gets the inbound pass. Devin White with a nice up and under there, and 3 straight fouls for the Halifax Hurricanes to start the third quarter. 34 seconds in, already a trio of fouls.
Yeah, everybody clears out to let Devin White work.
Zimmerman, quick. Braylon Racing on the near wing. Gives it over to Devin White. Wide open three. Cannot connect. Shaq Keith. Nice play from Logan Stutz to keep it alive. Braylon Racing keeps himself in the front court. Goes off glass. No good. Ramel Brown with the board.
What athleticism by Logan Stutz to keep that ball alive. And here come the Express. Shaq Keith charging to the rim. And he finishes at the rack.
Nice defense to offense there for Shaq Keith.
And that's really, Brett, where I think Shaq Keith plays his best basketball.
Clay Scales off the bounce. Tried to find Ramel Brown. He stays in bounds. Back to Klink now in the corner. Zimmerman for three. And he connects a huge shot for Halifax to cut into the lead.
I believe that's Zimmerman's second triple. You don't want to let that man heat up from the three-point line. Like we said earlier, he came 7 in the first game of the Halifax's season this year.
And Maurice Jones gets a step on Clifford Clinkscales and will draw the foul. We'll go to the free throw line for a pair of shots. 8:51 remaining in the third quarter. Express lead 59-47 over the Hurricanes.
And Maurice Jones at the line currently with 10 points, 4 assists. I believe playing with 3 fouls as he makes the first free throw. The leader and the motor of this team, now with so many new dangerous pieces to work with on offense and defense for that matter, as he makes the second. I can't wait to see what this season has to offer for the Windsor Express and Maurice Jones.
It's not just points and assists that he helps out the team. He also chips in a few rebounds a game, a couple steals, helps his team in many different facets. As Zimmerman unable to find the bottom of the bucket on that triple. Shaq Keith in the front court for Windsor. Gets a screen from Devin White. Going to go to his right. No, he's going to settle in and give it to White in the low post. White battling Antoine Mason. Those long arms, swings it over to Shaq Keith.
What a
He gets
play.
around the defender. Nice block coming over late from Ramel Brown.
Shaq Keith got the defender to bite. Looked like it was going to be and turning into an easy 2. What a great defensive play by the Hurricanes there with blocking the shot.
Nice job by Ramel Brown coming in late, pinning that basketball to the glass. A 4-point swing if his team is able to score, but an offensive foul will take away the possession for Halifax. Shaq Keith getting taken to the floor by an illegal screen.
And this has been a hard-fought game thus far, Brett. Got to shout out these referees. They've done a fantastic job on the floor call in this game tonight so far.
Absolutely. We are all one, and that includes the officials of the NBL Canada. There wouldn't be a league without our referees, so we always appreciate them. Maurice Jones over to Logan Stutz. Stutz screens for Jones. He's got an edge on the defender. Kicks out to White for 3. Can't connect, but Windsor on the right area for the offensive board.
Boom.
Racing for 3. His 4th triple of the game.
Yeah, Braylon Racing can shoot the basketball, Brett, from all over the place. Another triple off the recycled possession for the Windsor Express.
Billy White down low, battling Devin White, spins away from the defender, goes off glass, can't connect. Ramel Brown going to be called for going over the back of Logan Stutz, who had inside positioning on the defensive rebound. And we're going to get a timeout on the floor. It seems Mike Leslie from the Halifax Hurricanes has had enough. His team down 17 points, 64-47, midway through the third quarter. Kobe, your thoughts on the frame? Seems the Express just keep finding the open man. Pardon me.
They do, and it's really the trio of White, Stutz, and Jones. One screening up top or working in the pick and roll, and then you got another big out on the three-point line. And then when you got a guy like Braylon Reeson who can hang out on the perimeter, they leave a man like that open, and he's going to can that shot. So I'm really enjoying watching this new-look Windsor offense operate, really firing on all cylinders tonight. They've been played great basketball on both ends, but I've had a lot of fun watching this offense do its thing, Brett.
Absolutely, and Halifax, it's not like they haven't had good looks or haven't been in the ability to score. They just haven't been able to convert at the high enough at a higher rate than the Windsor Express have right now. And that's not for lack of effort. It's just how things are going sometimes. You got to credit the defense sometimes. Sometimes you're just not making shots.
Yeah, Halifax hasn't found a lot of success from downtown, but that's not really their forte. It really hasn't been throughout the years. You know, they get a lot of points in the paint, points off fast breaks, turnovers, stuff like that. And then they're a team that shoots the field goal from a high percentage for the two-point shot. They're 10-23, Brett, for 43% from the field, which isn't a bad number. But they've been out-rebounded by the Windsor Express tonight, and I think that's been huge. The Express have 15 points off turnovers to Halifax's 2. Now, typically, the Hurricanes are a fantastic defensive team, and they're going to get you more than 2 points off turnovers. So look for their defense to start to come alive here to try to cut into this lead.
Great analysis from the best the NBL Canada has to offer. Thanks to Kobe. Coming back out of the timeout, the Windsor Express up 17. Logan Stutz getting the ball in the
that defense. Ramel Brown.
Quick pass up the floor. Billy White converts. Good eyes from Antoine Mason to find the big man down low. Jack Keith hangs onto the basketball, waiting for a screen from Logan Stutz. Will cross over and go through the defenders. Tried to finish at the cup, looking for a call, not going to get it. Scales head the other way for Windsor, for Halifax. Zimmerman in the corner, can't convert. Shaq Keith with the rebound at the inside position. Going A to B, Shaq Keith looking to get a call, not going to get it again. And Shaq Keith's going to be picking up a technical foul.
Yeah, some frustration setting in for number 23. He's worked his tail off, Brett, on both ends, and one of the things he's able to do if he rebounds the basketball is get out in transition and just really run things from the point guard position, if you will. They're just not falling for Shaq Keith tonight. So like I said, some frustration setting in. He'll take a seat, relax, reset. I'm sure we'll see him again.
Yeah, in the team's opening game against Kitchener-Waterloo on Saturday, November 18th, he had 25 points, leading all scorers in the game. Scoring in a variety of ways, going off glass, and a big part of his game is that drive and taking on the contact, getting the call 50-50 at the time, and being able to get a decent shot off that contact.
Yeah, I agree. That's great analysis, and also his ability to turn defense into offense, like we've said many times. He's a really mature player as well, and I love what he has to offer.
Behind the back pass from Zimmerman to Ramel Brown, back to Zimmerman for three, and he connects.
Yeah.
Big shot for Halifax coming out of the timeout, cutting the deficit to 11.
And that's who the Halifax Hurricanes need to go to is Zimmerman, and he's stepping up big time. Boom.
Braylon Rayson with another three ball of his own.
This guy is clutch. Number 2, Braylon Rayson with another triple, showing off his ability to get it done from the three-point line.
Antoine Mason unable to come down with that one. Finding the other way is Braylon Rayson for 2.
Getting it done from downtown and getting it done in transition at the rim.
That shot, the lead is back up to 16 points. Cling Scales at the free throw line, kicks it out to Mason. Mason down low to Brown. Battling Logan Stutz, and we're going to have a foul against Stutz in the low post. Nothing you can really do there if you're Logan Stutz. The big man, Ramel Brown, bearing down on you. Got to try and stop him some way. This time he gets called for the foul.
And you see Devin White come over and block that shot despite the whistle, but that's helped defense if I ever seen it, and I love the communication between the two twin towers for the Express.
Zimmerman on the set piece, inbound play, rises up and cans the jumper for 2.
Yeah.
14-point deficit for Halifax now.
Zimmerman's 27 from game 1, looking like he's going to make a dent here in this Express lead. They need to check him real quick.
Grayson unable to connect from 3. Billy White down low for Halifax. Kicks it out to Klingscales. 14 to shoot. Going to go down low.
Nice pass.
And a beautiful pass from Klingscales leads to a bucket from Billy White. 69-57 for the Express with under 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Logan Stutz quickly turns the ball. Has the ball poked away from Ramel Brown. Windsor will keep possession.
Halifax picking things up here, Brett. They started to put their foot on the gas, lock things down defensively, slowing the Express offense down a little bit here. But Logan Stutz will finish at the rim. Great inbound pass there.
Double screen at the high post leads to an open Logan Stutz basket. 14-point lead once again. Zimmerman catch and shoot. Logan Stutz establishing position on C.J. Washington down low and leads to an opportunity for the Express the other way. Jones kicks it out to Braylon Rayson. He'll settle it down. Down low to Devin White. What a matchup problem he is. And he's going to pick up his pivot foot. It's going to be a travel, negating the basket. Unfortunate for Devin White. Seemed like a good look, just picked up his pivot foot.
Yeah, beautiful fadeaway jump shot in the long two. Committed the violation there and lost the ball, but that's a shot he can make.
C.J. Washington gives it up to Billy White at the top of the key. Zimmerman will use the screen from White, but it's going to be illegal, and it's going to go the other way. Billy White called for the illegal screen on the offensive set. tough to take a foul when you're so far away from your own basket. Checking into the game now is going to be Mike Poole, number 10 for Halifax. Antoine Mason going to check out. 71-57 in favor of the Windsor Express. 4:05 left to go in the third quarter. Thanks for joining us, folks. Brett Hedges and Kobe Kay on the call for you on Windsor Express basketball. Home opening night for 2017. Racing. They're going to call a kickball on Braylon Racing. Yep, as he was going to the floor, it hit his shin, ankle.
Halifax very close to stealing that ball. Racing had to do some real good work there to dive for that ball and stop Halifax from breaking out in transition.
Logan, that's going to be called for the foul down low. A quick turn from C.J. Washington. Got him a half step on the former league MVP, and now Washington will go to the free throw line with 3:44 to go in the third, with his team down 14 points. Washington lines up the first and connects.
Halifax 4-4 from the charity stripe for this game. The Express also 4-4. No one's missed a free throw yet.
And there you go, you jinxed them. Maurice Jones across the timeline. A split pair of free throws for Washington. Might have to reset the shot clock a few seconds. Logan Stutz will inbound from the far sideline. Thanks for tuning in for wherever you are, folks, on opening night for Windsor Express at home. Shout out to our Deputy Commissioner, Aubrey Stevenson. Windsor in their offensive set, looking to go one-on-one with Devin White as he faces up on Billy White. Driving baseline. They're going to say he went on the end line, stepped out of bounds. It's going to be a turnover.
And unfortunate for Devin White because that was a beautiful dish.
Billy White looking down low. C.J. Washington. And Logan Seth's going to be called for a double foul, it looks. Both guys just trying to establish themselves, going to a spot on the floor.
Halifax outscoring the Windsor Express 17-16, Brett, in this third quarter. More affirmation and proof that they've had a strong frame here as they look to close this thing even tighter. Some time to work. 3:17 left in the third quarter, but they got to get rolling if they're going to win this game.
C.J. Washington shaking off the bump he took with Logan Sutch. Just two big men colliding, trying to smash the flash, so to speak. Your defensive player, not allowing the player to get to the elbow. We're going to have a sideline injuries for Halifax as they try to cut into this 13-point lead for the Windsor Express. And it's not like the Halifax Hurricanes haven't been scoring well in this third quarter. It's that second quarter by the Windsor Express that are coming to hurt him now as they're trying to dig into this lead, but are getting matched basket for basket by Windsor.
Definitely the Express scoring 31 in the second quarter. Halifax actually has 31 points off the pine. Their reserves doing a great job. Windsor scoring at a high rate.
Down low, Clifford Quinscales gets the pass, trying to get the free ball to go. Can't get to, but he'll get the offensive rebound. The opportunity gets it to Zimmerman. No, he's got his heels on the line. It's going to be a turnover.
And good for the Windsor Express because Halifax looked like they were reeling there, rotating the ball very well. All hard, this group, the Hurricanes, bringing a great brand of basketball every time they're on the floor.
3 minutes left to go here in the third quarter at the WFCU Center. Windsor leading 71-58 over the Hurricanes. Devin White finds it cutting. Michael Achapong goes on glass for two.
And this time, Achapong finishes at the rim, but Devin White completes that pass, showing off some great ball facilitation from the corner.
Clay Scales looking down low to C.J. Washington. He does. Going to the net. And a pair of Express players converged on Washington. Not sure who's going to get called by for the foul, but Washington will go back to the free throw line.
Express foul number 14, Michael Achapong, his second.
Achapong over double-digit scoring in the game so far. At least 9 points, I believe. He had 7 straight points during a span during the second quarter.
Yeah, he came off the bench, Brett Achapong, and made 2 straight baskets. Giving some great work off the pine for the Windsor Express. Brings good energy.
Gonna have a quick substitution for the Halifax Hurricanes. Klingscale's gonna check out, and Zimmerman gonna take over the point guard spot. The duties guarding Maurice Jones. Theron Reefer checking into the game for Halifax. Jones to the cup, gonna go off glass. Can't get it to fall, but he will get the foul call. He'll go to the free throw line for 2. That quick first step from Maurice Jones. I don't really think there's many defenders in this league that can defend a quick move like that.
No, and if not, he's going to the line like we see here. He misses the free throw, but when this man puts it into 5th gear, it's tough to slow down, and his ability to finish at the rack, second to none.
Saginaw, Michigan native, formerly played at USC, played at Northwood University as well. CJ Washington rises up over the defender and cans the jumper, makes it 11 points.
Washington with 8 now in the game.
Jones. Devin White looking to go one-on-one with Billy White at the elbow, spin. Picked up his pivot foot once again. He's going to be called for the traveling.
Yeah, I think White kind of knew it as he was starting to hit the deck. He just kind of threw the ball up there and hoping for the best. Gets called for the travel, and Halifax has an opportunity here to score some points off a turnover.
Zimmerman behind the back pass to CJ Washington, lines up for 3, no good. Rebounded by Poole. He puts up the shot in the middle of the key. Good for 2.
Poole rises up over Maurice Jones to secure that old board. Second chance points opportunity for the Halifax Hurricanes, and they make it count.
Jones at the elbow, kicks it out to White. Quick fire for 3, no good.
And I think,
Good battle for the loose ball, and it will be Windsor Express basketball.
and I think more importantly for the Hurricanes, Brett, 73-64. This lead now down to single digits.
Desmond Hubert, the man responsible for helping chase down that basketball. Coming back into the game. Windsor on the baseline. Shaq Keith for 3 off the mark. Washington with the rebound.
And look out, Halifax is starting to make a run here. Windsor really slowing down.
Theron Reefer with a 1-foot floater.
Yeah.
What a great teardrop shot from Reefer as the Halifax Hurricanes have cut the deficit to 7 points, 73-66 with under a minute to go here in the third.
Reefer releases that teardrop, Brett, with confidence. I knew that was going in the moment it rolled off his fingers. But we talked about the composure of the Halifax Hurricanes really being on display right now as they're slicing into this express lead right back in this thing.
Desmond Hubert to the free throw line for a pair of free throws. Eric Parker will check into the contest for
Devin White, who deserves a rest for the final minute of this third quarter. Hubert can't knock down the free throw.
Halifax got their field goal percentage now, Brett, up to almost 52%, 18 and 35.
Desmond Hubert with a free throw there, splits the pair, gives the Windsor Express an 8-point lead, 74-66, 55.3 seconds to go in the third frame. Zimmerman with the handle for Halifax as he crosses the timeline. They've done a great job of cutting into this lead in the third quarter. Now they're looking to cut it even closer. Watson kicks it out. Reefer back to Watson. Nice pump fake,
Tough.
gets it over the defender for 2 points. Beautiful take from Watson.
Yeah, a really, really hard-fought, earned 2 points for Tyrone Watson in the paint.
Maurice Jones gets a screen from Hubert. Finds Hubert on the roll. Has it poked away by Reefer. Mike Poole. Ramel Brown. Down low, kicks it back out to Reefer. You got 10 seconds to shoot. The shot clock is turned off. Zimmerman with the ball.
The Express lead just And that's the way we will close things out. The Express 74, Halifax Hurricanes 68, Brett.
Absolutely. Coming back into this one is Halifax, but they still have 6 points to climb to get back into a leading position. Eric Parker with a deflection on the last second 3 ball from Taekwon Zimmerman. We're going to take a short break between the 3rd and 4th quarter here on Windsor Express Basketball Nation. We'll be back here with the 4th quarter from the Windsor Rose City. All right, coming back out of the quarter timeout. The Windsor Express hold a 6-point lead. Pretty balanced scoring. Pretty balanced scoring for the Windsor Express tonight, led by Braylon Rayson for 19 points, followed closely by 14 from Logan Stutz. Been a pretty balanced effort tonight, Kobe.
Definitely, the starting 5 for the Windsor Express getting it done once again. They've also got some help from the reserves, but I've really enjoyed the play of Braylon Rayson, certainly from the 3-point line. Really, really clutch guy.
And he's back at the helm, hoping to help the Express to their 2nd win of the season. 3 seconds to shoot. Maurice Jones puts up a shot at the buzzer. Good job by Halifax to close out defensive possession.
Oh, miscommunication there. Tyrone Watson wanted that ball up. That would have been a crippling blow, so to speak, for Windsor if Halifax could have converted a bucket there, so they got lucky. Windsor's got to lock things down here and take care of the basketball, Brett. Get the high percentage shot here and start finishing at the rim again.
Absolutely. We always speak about free throws and turnovers, and we'll always keep our eyes on those numbers as we get further and further along the 4th quarter. Maurice Jones to Braylon Rayson for 3. Partially blocked by Reefer, pardon me. Coming up is Mike Poole, and he cans a triple to make it a 3-point game, 74-71 with 11 minutes to go in the 4th.
Yeah, Halifax closed out the quarter strong in the 3rd and have carried that over now into the 4th. The most important quarter of this game, Halifax right now firing all cylinders.
Grayson hands off to Maurice Jones, who will pick up a foul against Taekwon Zimmerman. That switching action by the Windsor Express offense makes opposing defenses have to go either around screens or push themselves under. It's a great way to get the offense moving for Windsor.
Definitely, and we see Logan Stutz and Devin White check back into the game, and now we'll get to see even more motion in the pick and rolls. We see Devin White set a screen there for Maurice Jones, who finds Stutz in the corner and hits the 2-point shot. Exactly what you were talking about, Brett.
Absolutely. Logan Stutz on the baseline for 2. Zimmerman puts up a shot. Can't find the rim. Maurice Jones heading the other way. Stutz for 3. Connects.
Boom.
straight points from Cyclops Stutz.
Yeah, and a 2-point basket, and then the triple, and 5 big points for the Express, and they needed it.
And responding for the Hurricanes. And now a turnover on the ensuing bucket. Mike Poole can't convert.
Great
He scored the bucket earlier.
That was strong
Express get lucky
defense
there.
by White, who finishes at the rim. Devin White down on the defensive end, making life difficult for the Hurricanes, and then finishes on the left side.
Using that length to his advantage there, had his defender draped all over him. Zimmerman in the front court scores a beautiful mid-range shot. He's had that on display all night long.
Yeah, kind of paused in the air for a second, just let go, nothing but net. Zimmerman feeling it for the Canes.
Shaq Keefe on the bounce, on the baseline, gets stopped by Poole. Dishes it back out to Devin White. Devin White, downloader Shaq Keefe. He sweeps through, gonna rise up those shoulders, squares up, it's good for 2.
And what I love about Shaq Keefe is the confidence, and he goes back to the rack and makes it count. Gets himself a much long-awaited 2 points there, but important to get him going in the 4th.
Watson hands off to Romel Brown, who gives it over to Reefer. Reefer from the free throw line, it's 2.
Halifax sizzling from the field, 83 to 77 in favor of the Express.
Less than 9 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Shaq Keefe at the three-point line, gets a screen from Devin White. White going down low. Shaq, no, he's going to go for 3 off the left side of the rim. And rebounded by Poole. Zimmerman up the floor for Halifax. Finds a cutting Romel Brown back out. To Poole now at the three-point line, defended by White. Jab step. Poole puts up the 3 ball, and it's good.
Yeah, beautiful job step by Mike Poole, who pulls up beyond the arc and cans it, cutting the Express lead to 3. Both these teams, Brett, shooting over 50% for the field. This is a great basketball.
And Maurice Jones is going to pick up a foul against Taquan Zimmerman. Had a little bit of the edge on the defender. Draws the foul, and then he'll go to the bench. That's his 4th foul, so now he's going to have to take a break with 8:06 remaining in the 4th quarter. Just a 3-point game, 83 to 80. After Halifax has done a great job in the second half to dig at this Windsor Express lead, which was once 14 points.
Yeah, they've clawed, fought, stayed in this game, found high percentage shot, caused turnovers, slowed the Express down in the 3rd quarter. They've done a fantastic job.
Racing, driving to the basket. Reefer making a great defensive play. Gets up a little bit too much hand, I guess. And he is called for the foul down low. Braylon Racing with a strong move to the basket, getting himself to the free throw line. Getting himself a couple of free throws with time stopped and 8 minutes to go here in the game.
Halifax, I think for the first time in this game, Brett, as Racing makes the first free throw, have taken the lead in the rebounding battle. Total rebounds, Halifax 26, the Express 25.
Braylon Racing goes 2 for 2. He now has 21 points on the game, including 5 triples. We saw 3 of those in the 2nd quarter. Helped give the Express the lead that they hold on to now.
The Hurricanes have eclipsed the 50-point mark in terms of bench scoring.
Cling scales for 3. He can't knock down the shot. Devin White with the rebound gives it over to Maurice Jones, who will slowly bring the ball to the floor for the Express.
Yeah, important defensive rebound there for Devin White. Gives it up to his point guard, Maurice Jones.
Jones thought about a 3-point shot, but gives it over to Logan Stutz.
He's got space to work.
Yep. Stutz down low. Devin White keeps it
what
alive.
a
Back to
play.
Braylon Racing for 3 off the mark. Would have blown the roof off this place if that shot had gone in.
Definitely.
Reefer to respond, and he does. A triple from Reefer makes it a 2-point game with 7 minutes to go in the 4th.
Confidence, poise, control, experience, all on display for Halifax. A 2-point game, Brett, like you said, under 7 minutes left. Braylon Racing with the triple. Boom!
His 6th of the game, 6 of 11 from the field. He's got 24 points. He leads all scorers, and now Windsor's got a 5-point lead, 88 to 83. 6:40 to go here. Mason on the response. He will draw the foul on Braylon Racing. That's his second time that Rayson's been caught beyond the three-point line, fouling the shooter. So Mason will have an opportunity to score 3 points on free throws with 6:37 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Taquan Zimmerman, 3 of 5 from downtown. Braylon Rayson, 6 of 11. And we know Zimmerman, Brett, had 7 triples in Halifax's first game of the season. So both of these players lights out from downtown.
Mason makes the first. Lining up the second. Cans the second, makes it a 3-point game. It's a healthy crowd here at the WFCU Center for home opening night.
Yeah, really seemed enthusiastic about the start of this season when the players were introduced, Brett. I could see the energy and the emotion and the faces of the fans, their body language, really getting into kicking things off here at the WFCU Center for the 17-18 NBLC season.
Grayson finds a wide open Devin White for 3. He can't connect. He goes off the front of the glass. And Logan Stutz comes up with a loose ball and one. What a bounce for the Express.
Yeah, Logan Stutz, talk about being in the right place at the right time. Kind of left alone there on the left side of the floor on the block, able to come up with the old board and the putback.
Logan Stutz looking to complete the three-point play from the free throw line. And he does just that. Spent 13 games in the Express last year, including their playoff run. Now looking to make Windsor his home for the whole season as Antoine Mason, with a quick move to the basket, will draw a foul. That one's going to go against Braylon Rayson. Mason has caught Rayson out of position a couple times tonight. What a quick defender, quick first move by Antoine Mason.
And Windsor, we've talked a lot, Brett, about the high field goal percentage. They've shot here 53% and then the 12 triples, but they're 8-8 from the free throw line. Perfect from the charity stripe.
Yeah, well, foul on the defensive possession here. I believe that's going to go against Michael Achampong. I believe it was Mason or Reefer that hit the floor. Michael Achampong, his third foul of the game. 6:13 to go here in the fourth quarter. 91-86 in favor of the Windsor Express over the Halifax Hurricanes.
Speaking of Achampong, he's chipped in 9 points and 4 boards. He's been good as well for the Windsor Express.
Reefer unable to convert in close midway through the fourth quarter. Windsor with a 5-point lead. Achampong, one of the 5 Canadians on this roster. Jones finds Stutz at the three-point line. He pump fakes, drives, goes reverse, gets his own rebound, will draw the foul on clean scales. And that will be another Windsor Express possession down low. Unless Stutz was in the act of shooting, then he'll go to the free throw line. Just seems that the rebounding edge has gone in the way of the Express here in the last couple of minutes, and it's really been able to give them an edge in terms of offensive opportunities.
Yeah, we talked about that, Brett, in the first quarter, that was going to be one of the important stats in terms of the team comparison. And right now, the Express, a +3 on the boards. Last time I mentioned that stat, it was the Hurricanes at +1, so a good eye on your part. At that time, the Halifax Hurricanes had 26 boards, Windsor had 25. So Windsor's picked up 5 straight, so good observation from yourself. Just a quick stat correction on Michael Achampong. He does have 9 points, 4 or 6 from the field, and I thought he's done a really good job coming off the pine for Coach Bill Jones and the Windsor Express, getting a great look at a Canadian player here.
Absolutely, and you look at the contributions from the Canadian side of the ball for Windsor. Michael Achampong, 9 points. Shaquille Keith, 8 points. Just helping, round out those 2 out of those 5 roster spots for the Express. If you can get 20-25 points a game out of those 2 spots, you're doing pretty well as an NBL Canada squad.
Yeah, I like that the league made the rule change this year to 5 players. It really helps brand this professional basketball in Canada, our own brand. Although we welcome in players from all over the world, it's part of what makes this league great as well. It encourages all of the players on the collegiate level throughout the country to have an opportunity to further their basketball career after college or university, to have an awesome league like this to play in and get paid at a professional level. I mean, how awesome is that?
Absolutely. 10 teams in the league now. We're expecting Sudbury to join us next year. We have 2 prospective franchises
Yeah, Winnipeg could be in the mix, and then you could even talk about maybe one day Western Canada. And could you imagine a team in Vancouver? How amazing would that be? Well, right now we got 10 great franchises here competing. It's a dogfight every night in this league, and that's one of the things I love about it.
Absolutely. The Windsor Express. What a missed free throw from Logan Stutz there. They're leading 91-86. 5:47 to go here in the fourth quarter. Thanks for joining us. Brett Hedges and Kobe K on the call for you tonight. On home opener night, Logan Stutz splits the pair and makes it an even 6 points for the Express lead. Billy White, defended by Devin White, going to hand it off to Clint Scales. Going to go down low to Billy White, switching those shoulders to the left, unable to get the bounce. You're going to say it's off an Express player, and out of bounds, it'll be Halifax ball.
And give some credit there to Devin White for the defense on Billy White on the block there. Doing a great job. Hands up defense, no foul committed, causing White to miss at the rim.
5:24 to go here in the fourth quarter. Windsor up by 6. Antoine Mason pointing up for a screen from Watson. Rises up at the free throw line, unable to connect. Achimpong and Maurice Jones fight momentarily for the rebounds. But the point guard takes it away and will set up the half-court offense. Stutz is fouled by Antoine Mason for reaching in, trying to make a play on defense.
Good call there by the referee.
And those are the kind of plays that Halifax is maybe looking to make in the later parts of the fourth quarter here, trying to cut the deficit, maybe swing the momentum onto their side.
That's the problem. If you're behind Logan Stutz like that and he gets a step on you, he's either going to shoot the jump shot, he's going to attack the rim, or he's going to find the open man. So not a very good situation to be in.
Maurice Jones. Dribbling. Rising. Shooting. Can't get the fall, but who's there? Michael Achimpong. He's got double digits.
Yeah, 11 points for Achimpong, who cleans things up in the paint for the Windsor Express.
Reefers swings it back up to Clint Scales. Halifax looking to make something happen here with 4:34 to go here in the fourth quarter.
The Express extending their lead now. 8 points.
Dixon gets bumped off his path by Stutz. The second opportunity is no good for Halifax. Windsor comes up with it and will go on the front court.
Closing out an important defensive rebound are the Windsor Express.
Jones off the bounce, stops in the middle of the key, gets his own offensive rebound around the bigger defender, Dixon. Back to White. Mid-range jumper, no good. Logan Stutz down low, pump fake, draws the foul. He'll go to the free throw line.
The Express there, Brett, with not one, but 2 offensive rebounds to recycle that possession. And if Logan Stutz getting to the free throw line here, stops the clock. We got a great free throw shooter at the charity stripe for Windsor. Great play and great effort there from the Express.
And that possession all started with the play of Maurice Jones gets the inside position on Dixon, rips the ball away, gets it over to Devin White. He misses inside, but Logan Stutz is there to collect the garbage and gets himself to the line.
And that's something, Brett, he's been doing all night long. He's really, really got great basketball IQ around the basket. He can win the 50-50 balls, but he's got a high basketball IQ. He seems to be in the right place at the right time, all the time.
2 points for Logan Stutz. He is now the game's leading scorer with 25. Followed closely by Braylon Rayson, who has 24, but he's on the bench with foul trouble right now. 3:45 to go here in the fourth quarter. Antoine Mason off the bounce, can't get it to fall off glass. Devin White tracks down the loose ball. And Devin White fishes it over to the point guard, Maurice Jones. 3:33 to go here in the fourth.
The Express +9 on the boards now, Brett, and they've really rebounded well in the fourth quarter.
What a find from Maurice Jones to a cutting Shaquille Keith. He's now got double digits. The Express have 6 players in double digits. They're looking at a 12-point lead with 3 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Timeout Halifax. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll talk some more stats and facts heading into the later parts of the fourth quarter. We'll be back here from the WFCU Center in just a few moments.
really cleaning things up here in the fourth quarter and closing out this game strong, but lots of time left.
Romel Brown down low, gets blocked from behind by Devin White. Takes it out to take one Zimmerman after the offensive rebound. Stutz is unable to collect the defensive board, and Halifax has got it again. Zimmerman kicks it out to Mason. Quick fire from three. That's short, but it's in the hands of Zimmerman.
And they come up with the basketball again, do the Halifax Hurricanes.
2:50 to go here in the fourth quarter. Windsor up by a dozen. Clinkscales trying to cut into the deficit, but he can't connect on the triple.
And Shaquille Keith comes up with the rebound, giving it off to Maurice Jones. He'll slow things down for Windsor.
Maurice Jones gets a screen from Logan Stutz, the game's leading scorer. Stutz puts the ball on the floor, gives it over to Achampong, who's got 11. Achampong off glass, no good. Reaching for it on the rebound, can't collect. Clinkscales passes up the floor to Mason. Mason is going to be fouled by Shaq Keith with 2:19 to play in the fourth. A hand check by Shaq Keith will stop the clock. Braylon Rayson will check back into the game for Michael Achampong. Windsor up by a 12 with 2:19 to play, 98-86.
I think Halifax will be looking for a quick basket here.
Romel Brown checks out. Billy White on the inbound, gets the defender up in the air, drives, goes off glass. Good for two. Billy White with the drive.
Billy White thinks about shooting the triple, but decides to take it to the rim, and it ends up being a sound one as he makes the basket.
Halifax, as we said, not known for their three-point shooting ability. Shaq Keith off glass, can't get the shot to fall. Got some contact
Halifax.
on his way to the rim.
Hurricanes got to push here. Oh, Shaq Keith comes up with the ball.
And there he goes for 2 points, Shaq Keith. Turning defense into offense once again. He gets his double digits. And Devin White's going to be called for the foul as Antoine Mason challenged at the rim. 1:43 to go in the game. Windsor still up by a dozen. They've cracked the 100-point mark. That's an important milestone for the Express to hit every single game. Under Bill Jones, not typically the highest scoring teams in the league, but they will definitely grind it out on defense.
Well, Halifax had 120-plus points in their first game of the season to hold them here to below 90, 89 now with the $1:43 left. I think the defensive effort's been good for the Windsor Express, large in part due to the rebounding, because when you look at the shooting, Halifax shot 50% from the field and 90+% from the line.
Pair of free throws for Antoine Mason will add to his stat line for the night. The Express with 1:39 to go here in regulation, up by an even 10 points. Maurice Jones off the bounce, kicks it out to Rayson, made a great play to keep it in bound. Jones for three in the corner.
And that was most likely the nail in the coffin for the Halifax Hurricanes.
Mason with a quick fire release to try and answer. It's off the mark, and Coach Jones is going to bring it over. Tell his team to slow it up. Jones at the free throw line off the front rim. Still challenging for it. Here comes Zimmerman for Halifax. 1:05 to go here in the fourth. Zimmerman for three, off glass, no good. Challenging for the ball is White, knocked out of bounds by Windsor. Halifax basketball with 1:01 to go in regulation.
Halifax, Brett, with just 8 team assists tonight. That's very low for them, 26 in game 1 of the year, so I'm sure they'll look to improve on that next time out.
Nice inside post move by Ronaldo Dixon. He cashes in for 2 points. Looking at some of our lead scorers for today's game. Obviously, Windsor being led by Logan Stutz, 28 points, but 6 players in double digits for the game. Unreal. Great offensive, great spreading the ball by the Windsor Express and just being able to convert when your number's called.
Yeah, much like the first game of the season, all 5 starters scored in double digits, but like I said at the top of the game, as Logan Stutz hits the first free throw, they have 12 players on the roster in game 1. 11 scored at least 2 points. When you got that kind of depth, you can go into your bench and everybody's chipping in. You're on the same page. Logan Stutz makes the second, but it's the continuity and the gelling of this team early that's been impressive.
Halifax doesn't have it any easier going into tomorrow as Ronaldo Dixon drives in the lane and scores his second straight bucket. 40 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Shaq Keith hang on to it.
105-94 in favor of the Express. 7 on the shot clock.
Jones finds Devin White.
Boom.
Splash! A big shot for Devin White. 17 points, 14 rebounds, the double-double.
Devin White, 3 triples on the night. He had 4 in game 1. We watched the work he did on the block. 14 rebounds to go along with double-digit scoring. This man can ball.
Yes, he can. 19 seconds to go in the game. Windsor up by 14. 3-ball coming up from Dixon. That's off the mark. Rebound by Billy White. He's going to score 2 points with 10 seconds to go. 108-96. Seems that's going to be our final score at the WFCU Center. Windsor open up their 6th NBL Canada campaign with a win over the Halifax Hurricanes. They moved to 2-0 in the regular season. Will battle the Niagara River Lions tomorrow afternoon in Niagara. A tough team in their own right just coming up beating the London Lightning. Halifax, on the other hand, will play the London Lightning tomorrow afternoon. A great first game for the weekend for the Windsor Express. Kobe, what are your thoughts?
I think the Express are going to walk into the locker room with their head held high. New faces, a lot of new players, like I said, for this team, but the gelling that's going on right now, the continuity.
Thank you, Brett and Kobe. Good job as always. And the final score says 108-96. The Windsor Express pick up win number 2 in their 6th season here of NBLC play. Aaron Sanders with you for the post-game show here courtside, and it was a really interesting second half. The Windsor Express pulled through. They persevered and they tightened up on the defense as well, but especially from beyond the arc, that shooting, oh my goodness, unbelievable. I think the guy that stands out the most, well, first off, as you can hear, the Windsor Express will be meeting up at the center court logo, but Braylon Rayson has impressed me in more ways than one. He was phenomenal. He finishes up with 24 points, 1 rebound, and 2 assists to his name. And then we have double-double, Mr. Maurice Jones. He has his first double-double of the season, 15 points and 10 assists to his name. Logan Stutz, not a bad night for him, finishing off with 30 points, 8 rebounds, and an assist. But Halifax, they didn't do bad at all. They gave it all they could, but I guess it was that lead near the end of the first half that did enough for them. So they finish off with 96 points rather. There are a couple of players that ended up with 14 points, Taquan Zimmerman and Antoine Mason. They were the key part of this Halifax Hurricane squad as they have been in years past. So that's a lot to take in considering they're going to have a short nap and a quick drive down the 401. A lot of improvements that's got to be made between these both teams. Understandably, both of these clubs have only played 2 games, but now Halifax, they split their record at 1-1 and the Express 2-0. For the Halifax Hurricanes, it's all about attacking and securing the inside. So have that interior defense tighten up, especially against a London Lightning team who they will play against tomorrow. The Windsor Express, they got to play defense the whole 9 yards from one end of the court to another. It isn't about transition defense. It's also about the post defense and the top defense. They got to get it all together, but they are clicking on all cylinders, and they look like a team that is intimidating, especially from beyond the arc. So those are 2 things that these clubs got to take in. So that does it for the Halifax Hurricanes. They will travel down to 401 tomorrow, down to Budweiser Gardens, where they play against their NBL Finals rivals, the London Lightning. The Lightning will raise their 3rd banner up in succession of winning the NBL Canada Championship. But for the Hurricanes, this is bittersweet for them and kind of awkward. Bittersweet because they lost on that floor for the championship, but yet they are in pursuit of going back to back to back when it comes to the NBLC Finals. The Windsor Express, on the other hand, they will travel to Niagara tomorrow to play against the River Lions. That's going to be an interesting game. 2 new-looking teams. It's going to be fun. So that's it once again. Final score, as you can see, 108-96. The final, the Windsor Express stay undefeated in this early NBL Canada season. The next telecast will be around December 15th as the new kids on the block, the St. John's Edge, will come here and do battle here at the WFCU Center. Big thanks to our crew right here. We want to thank all of you for watching, and we'll see you again along the road. Until next time, this be Aaron Sanders saying so long from the Rose City.